just made it over to the Mills Market. The parking is insane. I am going to show you all what's even more insane. So, Whitney and we just finally were able to get some street parking. So we get out. There is this adjacent parking lot, which looks like it's over near an abandoned, probably medical facility or healthcare facility. So I don't think anyone technically is supposed to be parked in here because, I mean, this place looks pretty defunct and it's a private lot. Anywho, there are a few cars parked here, but don't know if they're supposed to be here or not. Needless to say, there is this tree and a branch completely fell on top of this car and we heard it. And we initially thought, oh my God, did a parked car like trying to leave their spot hit another car? But actually it was this whole branch that fell on this poor person's car. So they're going to come out to a surprise. I'm going to show you all what this looks like. So you can see over here, we're parked over across the street. And we were walking over, like I said, we heard this thud and this tree branch completely fell on top of this car. So hopefully there's not too much damage and it just sounded worse than what it actually looks. But that person, whoever is the owner of this car, is definitely going to be in for a rude surprise. And then you see this kind of like abandoned medical facility right here. So I don't think technically anyone should be parked here. This place is crazy busy. Whitney and I were just saying that we were just not expecting for it to be this busy because right now it's in the middle of the day and we just assumed we probably missed some of the lunch rush at this point. But no, this place is hella busy, but it just shows you how in demand really good Asian food is here in Florida. It reminds me a lot of Southern California. Asian food is king. And so because you can get a lot of really good Asian food wherever you go, here's some of the parking here. There's not, I mean, it is crazy, y'all. The parking here is nuts. So because you have access to really good Asian food wherever you go, you really don't have to fight for parking when you go to certain places unless it's ultra popular. We can go toward the front. So this is the main rear lot of the food hall. And in a lot of TikToks, you can see some people will go on the rear entrance. We're going to go around to the front just so we can see what it looks like. But it's truly hopping, very busy over here, which is exciting because it must mean that the food is good.
Wow, this pool took up 2 spots.
Wow, some people are so selfish. Listen, when some of y'all are parking, please park right. My goodness, especially when you're going into busy places like this. Yeah, across the street, there's a Paris Banh Mi. Y'all, I'm so excited to get some good banh mi. I love banh mi. And we have this Lineage coffee shop. I've never been there. I was just telling Whitney that may be a place I should run over to at some point. But we were just looking at some of the food options via the various TikToks and IG Reels. And everything just looks so good. So I'm excited to kind of see what everything looks like. Here's the entrance.
Oh.
Let's head on in. So we are going to take a look around. Obviously, it's very busy to see what our options are. So I will circle back with you all in just a few minutes once I get a little bit better of the lay of the land. So there's Kai Kai, which has dumplings and also some really good rice bowls. You have Banh Mi Boy and then Uni Girl, which is really good from what I hear. And they have some unigiri. I just ordered a crispy pork belly banh mi from Banh Mi Boy, so I'm looking forward to trying that, as well as a Japanese Vietnamese coffee, which I've never had. The difference being that it is made with some espresso as well as a sesame cold foam. I am totally looking forward to showing you all what that looks like and trying that out. I'm expecting it to have kind of like a nutty flavor and taste to it, so I cannot wait. As you can see here, Uni Girl is sold out for today, so I wanted to try some unigiri, but they are sold out, which, you know, this is very clear to me being here for the first time that if you want to get a lot of the food, especially the more popular items, you may have to get here a little bit earlier in the day. Whitney and I also placed an order at Kai Kai. She purchased some crispy, I'm going to say a crispy pork rice dish, but we'll see when she actually gets it. I also ordered some Saigon beef noodles, so we'll see how that looks when we get it out. There's also this really cool area of Mills Market where you can just purchase a lot of really yummy Asian snacks. So if there are certain types of chips, candies that you're interested in, I highly recommend just going through and perusing and seeing what they have. Here is all of our delicious looking food. So we got the shomai, the beef Saigon noodles, and then we also have this combination rice plate that has, of course, like different meats. You have chicken and pork, and as well as a crispy pork banh mi. I also have my Japanese Vietnamese tea, which will be very interesting to taste and see how that all goes. Whitney also ordered a large mogu mogu mango drink. So we're going to tuck into all this food, and then I'll circle back with you all when we are getting ready to leave, and we'll tell you what I think. And here is the inside of the crispy pork banh mi. And y'all, we have, as you can see here, we have boxed up like all of our food. We have so much left over, which is great. That was the intention here. So I'm only going to take a couple bites of this banh mi, and I'm going to take the rest of it to go. But this looks so good. You see that crispy pork, you see the cucumber, you see the cilantro, the carrots, jalapeno, pate. So I cannot wait to get into this. So far, everything has been so good. So I'm looking forward to debriefing with you all very soon. Now that we have put down some really good food, we are going to walk over to Moge Tee to get some bubble tea. Of course, it is super hot and humid, so we need something cool and refreshing. I really enjoyed my Japanese Vietnamese tea. That feels so strange to say. Both those cultures in one coffee drink, but it is very strong. So what I'm going to do is save it and mix it with some drip coffee, potentially. And also it's a little sweet too, so I'm probably going to dilute it just a little bit. Let's head into Moge Tee. So we are back in the car from our adventures at the Mills Hall, and then subsequently going to Moge Tee, which was completely unexpected. I will say, like, both really good. Kai Kai was absolutely delicious. Pro tip, if you find yourself in Orlando and you do go to Mills Hall and you want to try out Uni Girl, you want to try out Banh Mi Boy, or even Kai Kai, strongly advise, get here early if you want some of the food. As you saw with Uni Girl, they were completely sold out, and by the time we got there, I want to say that this was around between like 2 and 3 o'clock, and this is on a Saturday, right? So during the weekday, maybe a slightly different situation. I don't know how busy they are during the week, but on the weekends, of course, a lot of people have more free time. It's going to be busy. It's going to be crowded. Things are going to sell out. Same thing with Kai Kai. They had some interesting menu items that we were interested in trying, but they were completely sold out. They had fried mochi, which would have been super interesting to try. I've never seen fried mochi before. Also, they had fried pan dumplings, which we could have gotten, but they said it would be a 20-minute wait. However, someone that was waiting behind us in line got the fried pork dumplings, and then they were immediately sold out after that. So word to the wise, if you want to have more options, be sure to get here early. Otherwise, the food was really good. If I had to give it like overall a rating out of 5, you all know how I like to rate things, I would probably give them a somewhere between a 3.5 and a 4. The food was delicious. I cannot wait to come back and try more items. They had so many delicious options. I want to also correct myself. So with the food my sister got, it was actually duck and 2 different types of pork. So one being pork belly, and the other, of course, like that really nice sliced roasted pork. So I wanted to correct that because I had thought that it was chicken in a combination of pork, because they do have a soy chicken. It was actually duck in a combination of pork. So wanted to correct myself. All of it juicy, very flavorful, delicious. I would say, as well as the Saigon beef noodles, very good. The noodles had a great spongy texture. It didn't taste like anything that was old or stale. It wouldn't even surprise me. I don't know if they hand pull their own noodles, but it wouldn't shock me. Like, the noodles had a fresh taste. So I'm going to assume that either they, pull their own noodles, or maybe because this part of town that we're in, downtown Orlando, has a lot of Asian food shops. So it would not even shock me if, they were able to get those noodles from somewhere around here locally, if not making it themselves, because the noodles had that very fresh taste. Everything flavorful, nothing was dry, nothing tasted super stale. I'm trying to think, the shumai that we ordered. The pork shumai was delicious. I also want to make a call out. So I ordered my food via DoorDash while we were waiting in line. Whitney stood in line, and it was just an interesting experiment to see, is it worth the extra fees that you have to pay with DoorDash, because food prices tend to be marked up a little bit more. Is it worth it to pay the marked up prices or stand in line? I would say, if you don't mind paying the marked up charges that DoorDash, will charge you on. And of course, I'm not talking about delivery. I'm just talking about picking it up. This is even something I wasn't thinking about until my sister called it out. But it's like, hey, let's compare the prices. So I would say that had I stood in line, I probably would have paid maybe roughly $10 less. Or what?
Not much. It was only like $4.
Oh, was it a $4 difference? I thought it was closer to 10. Okay, so like less than $5. So I would say, also, word to the wise, put the order in via DoorDash. My food was actually ready while we were standing in line. Whitney had to wait quite a while for her food. Granted, I had noodles. She had duck and pork. So, those items are going to cook a little bit at different speeds, but I still think that had she put in her order DoorDash, I put in my order DoorDash, they prepare the food by the order they receive it. We would have had our food a while back. Even probably while we're standing in line, by the time we made it up to the register, they probably would have already had our food. So just, word of caution, if you don't mind standing in line, stand in line. But the line does take a while. What I think is very smart that Kai Kai does in terms of their operations, they're not just, taking orders and getting, through the line. They're actually taking their time and staggering. So I would say every couple of people, They'll pause, make sure they're not getting behind in orders. Everything is made fresh. Nothing felt like it was just sitting out. Yes, that causes a longer wait, but your food is going to taste better. It is going to be fresher. And I think that's smart on them because then they're not slammed. And, you know, as someone that when I was a kid, you know, a lot of us, it's like trial by fire, worked in, you know, some variation of the service industry. I worked a lot in restaurants when I was younger. And so, you know, I appreciate folks that recognize how to stagger orders, how to make sure that your food is not just sitting under a heat lamp and then you get it and it just doesn't taste good. And not only that, but you still had to wait either way. So I appreciate the fact that they stagger and they're very conscientious about that. But I think if you're optimizing for speed, go ahead, place your order in via DoorDash. Yes, you're going to have to pay a little bit more, but not much. To me, it's worth it. What did I talk about in my video, if you didn't catch it, where we went to the beauty supply store? Time is money, money is time. So, you know, I don't, in this circumstance, because the fee is not something that I consider to be exorbitant, I wouldn't mind paying that extra fee just to be in and out. But overall, delicious food experience. I cannot wait to go back. I would love to try Uni Girl. Moge Tee was also very good. Now, we have been to another Moge Tee located in Lake Nona, Florida, which is a neighborhood that my sister used to live in. Moge Tee is good. It's solid. I had ended up getting the peach fruit tea with cheese foam, less sugar. So I want to say it's like 30% sweetness is how they assessed it. It was delicious. My sister got what was yours called again, Whitney? Like a palmetto.
A strawberry pomelo.
Strawberry pomelo. So the differences in how that's prepared is that mine is tea based, Whitney's is water based, but it has chunks of fruit in it. So hers was really good. My tea was good. So I would probably give it, again, somewhere between, I would say maybe like 3.6. I'm a little bit picky. If you get a 5 from me, then that's like no room for improvement. It's perfect. It's everything. The bubble tea here in Florida in general is good. Is it as great as what I get on the West Coast? No, but that's okay. It's still good. It's solid. I enjoy Moge Tee. It's certainly one of the better bubble tea places in Florida because I've had some bubble teas that have not been that great. Moge Tee is good. My sister also purchased a crepe cake that was horrible. I would probably give it like a 1. It just tastes like it was sitting in refrigeration too long. That's really it. Had we gotten it right as they prepared it, it probably would have had a completely different outcome. It would have been more flavorful. So I would say if you go to Moge Tee or really any bubble tea place and they have like those little crepe cakes or desserts, ask them how long has it been sitting out and make your judgment whether you think it's worth your money or not. I tend to, you know, gravitate toward if it's been sitting out for a while, just don't do it because it's probably not going to taste as good. But that's neither here nor there. The bubble tea in and of itself is delicious. So all in all, we have had a great food journey here. Food was awesome. Oh, I didn't even talk about the Vietnamese coffee that I had. And what, of course, made it that Japanese twist was the fact that it had a sesame cold foam at the top. Super delicious, but very strong. That is what I expect from Vietnamese coffee. I love strong coffee. So after taking a few sips, I was like, you know what? I'm going to save this. I'm going to dilute it a little bit at home so I can make it last a little bit longer and also kind of lower the potency of the strong espresso taste. And that is also like the Japanese twist to it, is the type of espresso they use, as well as having that sesame seed cold foam. But very delicious. If I had to rate that in and of itself, I probably would rate that maybe like a 3. I've never had a Japanese Vietnamese coffee, so I don't have anything to compare it to, but I would give it a 3. It was very delicious, super strong, a little bit sweeter than what I would like it to be, but all in all, delicious. I am so happy that we were able to find another Asian food place because it's very hit and miss in Florida. So it like fills my heart to be able to satisfy my Asian food cravings that I have periodically. So definitely looking forward to coming back again. Listen, if you live in Florida, especially in the Orlando area, do you have any recommendations? Have you tried Mills Hall for some of their food? Have you gone to Kai Kai? If you're not from Florida, if you've never been here before, do you like duck? Do you like pork belly? What are some of the things that you like to eat? And what is your favorite type of bubble tea? I'm curious. What are some recommendations you have? If you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video out. With that, my name is Jillian. Thank you for coming on this journey with me, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.